So we are officially starting our group chat today, and actually we were just talking for about 10 minutes. Joe came on. Joe did 13,000 last month, and he did great. He did 4,000 a month profit, but he was talking about his personal expenses were kind of eating up a lot of his profits. And we got in a little side discussion here for about 10, 15 minutes. And we were talking about the importance of cash flow and maybe having a job if you're not phone flipping, or even if you're making 3,000 or 4,000 a month profit on the side with this, it's good to have another source of income to back yourself up. And then this led into having at least 5,000 in the bank. So a goal with phone flipping, I say like 5,000 in the bank is kind of like your target in this business to really be almost like you never have to worry about any type of deals, right? Picture like if you were a hot dog vendor, and your hot dog cart makes you 5, 6, 10,000 a month in profits, whatever. But imagine if one day, you lost your hot dog cart. What would happen to your business? You'd have no business, right? You couldn't make any hot dogs. So in our business, our money is kind of like the hot dog cart, right? So like when we lose our money, we can't buy phones. So it's important to try to save as much as you can. Now, don't get discouraged if you don't have a lot of money, okay? There's ways to do it, but you're going to have to kind of make up with it, make it up in sweat equity, okay? So, for example, let's say right now, who's got less than like 500 bucks? Give me a 1 if you've got less than 500 bucks. Give me a 2 if you got at least more than 500. We already did the 1,000. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, that's pretty good. A lot of you guys at least have 500 bucks, so that's very good. So you're pretty much set. I mean, 500, you can get started flipping quite a bit. You don't need to be picky. Let's go over this stuff here. We'll talk a little bit about how to build up if you don't have a lot of cash, and then we're going to get into a lot of different stuff today. I'm going to address some of the things that I think I can help you guys with as much as possible. So who here has placed their first ads to buy phones? Give me a 1 if you placed an ad to buy phones, and give me a 2 if you haven't placed ads yet. And we got 40 participants in the chat, so I'm watching. I want to see if we can get 40 comments, right? Because it's great. I love it. I always see the same people participating, but I want to get some new people, some people that maybe just joined or nervous to participate. Let's get a lot of people, because I got maybe 15 responses, which is great. 15 people said they post ads. Only 2 people said they didn't, but we have 41 people on the chat. So do we have anybody else here? So you got a 1. Okay, good. You guys have posted ads and taken action. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about ad strategy as well. I just wanted to see where you guys were at with your ads. So a big thing about this business, right, is we all know that ads are the priority, right? The more ads we put out, the more business and opportunities that's going to come our way. Okay. So I was having a talk with one of my employees the other day. He was my lowest performing employee. My other 2 are doing really, really well, buying between 4 to 8 phones every day in those stores. We're doing about 40,000 a month right now, doing well, but I want to get up to 60,000 a month. So we're kind of like trying to tweak and test different strategies. So I got on a phone call with him, and I was trying to find out, like, he's worked for me for 4 years. He does okay with negotiations. He knows his stuff. And there was a couple things that after about a 20-minute phone call, I discovered that I think is one of the reasons. So, why? Because he knows all the same stuff all my other employees knows, but he's still not getting the results. I'm trying to think, well, what is it? So I ask a few questions, and he says that he's posting his ads at 5 o'clock, right? And I said, ooh, 5 o'clock. Now, how many people here post their ads in the morning? Give me a 1 if you post your ads in the morning. Give me a 2 if you post them at night. So if you're posting your ads at night, I think you're going to be missing out. So I see a lot of people posting their ads in the morning. Make sure you guys are posting your ads probably around 10 or 11 o'clock. And I think that's the best time to post your ads if you're doing this. Okay, I would post your ads on Craigslist, post your ads on Letgo, Facebook, and not worry about it. Now let's see how many honest people we got on the chat. Who here is posting ads on a regular, consistent basis? Like, you post your 3 ads on Craigslist, you post in your 5 to 10 Facebook groups, you post an ad on Letgo, you post an ad on Marketplace, and you're doing that consistently 5 days a week. How many? Give me a 1 if you're doing that every day. Give me a 2 if you're not. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 0.75, 2, Someone says too much work, two. Well, I mean, to post 3 ads on Craigslist takes me about 5 minutes. To post an ad on Let Go takes less than a minute. You just take a picture. I mean, you got to take the picture, but you can have a picture pool of stuff. And you could post it. And then on Marketplace, it really doesn't take that long either. Okay. Most of the stuff that takes time is really taking the pictures, right? So what I recommend is, who here takes like 1 time a week to take a bunch of pics so they can use throughout the week? Does anybody do that? This will help. You see, the part about posting ads is the creative part, right? The difficulty about making Craigslist ads and making Let Go posts and making Facebook posts and all that stuff is, you know, you got to figure out, well, what am I going to put in the ad? What am I going to do? So just take, you know, when you get a chance, take some phones, lay them on a table, and take a bunch of pictures with cash with them. Does everybody know how to do these ads? Like for example, let me show you some of our Craigslist ads. Like here's one right here, right? You know, if you look in the wanted section, like if you guys want to see what ads look like, just go to our wanted section in Rhode Island, and you guys can see some of the ads. Like you'll see my number. There's one of my numbers for my store. You know, we make these type of ads here. Well, like one of my employees, what they'll do is they'll just, you know, take a little bit of cash once a week. They'll take a bunch of pictures and then they'll make their ads for the week. So it takes them maybe 10 or 15 minutes to make the pictures. And you see how we make these pictures here? You just take, if you want to buy like laptops, you get the laptop, you take your picture with your cash. If you want to get phones, you just take the pictures of the phones. And then you can just get an app to edit the pictures. You can use a, you know, like Facebook story app to do this. A lot of people have their own preferences. I don't use an iPhone, so I don't know the iPhone apps, but there's a bunch of them. Someone says, what if you don't have phones to take pictures of? Well, I mean, you probably have your own phone, right? Just use your own phone if you have it. Or just borrow someone's. Like ask a friend if you borrow their iPhone or something, and you know, and even if you don't have cash, ask someone if you can borrow their cash, take a picture. I'm sure if you get creative, you'll find a way to do it. And if you can't make pictures, you can just do text ads. A couple weeks ago, I showed on the chat an easy way to create a Craigslist ad, right? Is you just like take somebody else's ad. For example, this is how fast you guys can post Craigslist ad, right? So here's a guy's ad right here. I buy old broken video games. Go to the wanted section of Craigslist, right? And this one says, I buy old and broken video games. Click on that. And then here we go. We can make a phone ad right now. I'll copy the title, right? This is a Craigslist cheat code right here that you guys can use. And just change it to, I buy old and broken phones. Takes you 2 seconds and you got yourself an ad, right? I buy old and broken phones. And then you can just change the city. Boom, you got yourself a Craigslist ad. You don't have to think. The important thing, guys, is to get a lot of ads out. Don't really get too specific and perfect with your ads. Your ads don't have to look great. Just get some ads out there. And the more ads you get out there, the more opportunities that you're going to get. Arthur says, do you use photos in all your ads on Craigslist? No, we have ads that don't have photos and we have ads that do have photos. Someone says, how can I make multiple accounts on Craigslist? I can't confirm all the accounts with different phone numbers. You know, like, we haven't found a good, reliable way to get multiple accounts on Craigslist without just using a real number. The best thing is like, here's a couple strategies. One, you just ask your friends and family. You only have to confirm 1 number per account. So if you only really need 5 or 6 accounts. 5 or 6 accounts will get you 30, 40 ads. You can get 4 or 5 ads per account easily, right? And you can actually just pay someone, you know, like Sam says, pay someone $5 just to use their number. Even if it's someone you're like, it's an acquaintance or something, be like, hey man, can I just use your number to verify on Craigslist really quick? They're just going to send you a code. Give them like $3 to $5, and you can verify it that way. So that's a little, you know, trick to get more accounts if you want. Okay, so anyways, we're going to put the city here, and then let's get the body now. Right? So then we just go to the body. And this is what this guy even made it like it's a little note here. He said, hello, I'm looking to buy older video game systems and stuff. So we'll just put this, we'll just get rid of the hello because that might be too similar to his ads. I'm looking to buy older phones and electronics. We'll change it up. Older phones and electronics, as well as modern phones modern and newer phones as well. There we go. That's perfect. I am located, and we'll just I'll put my city here. I'm located in Warwick, Rhode Island, and I can come to you. Thank you for reading my ad. I'll get rid of that because I don't want to copy him perfectly just like it's him, right? But you can put thank you for checking us out, and I look forward to hearing from you. Something nice and friendly like that. Now, this ad right here, I mean, I'm teaching you guys. Obviously, I would have done this a lot faster, but there's 1 minute Craigslist ad with no thought, no effort, no. Amber says, I just did it. It just works for some reason. Nick says, love it. Nice. Let's see. Oh, hey, Chris, how you doing? He's saying, I was trying to figure out what you were saying to me. Yeah, good to see you, Chris. Welcome to your first group chat. Amber says, I make 2 accounts every week, and I'm able to use my own phone number. Good job. Yeah, you can usually get away with 2 accounts per number, but you just can't make them like right away back to back. Like make an account with 1 number, wait like maybe a week or something, and then you can make the account again, usually with that same number. Okay. So hopefully this was helpful. That's Craigslist, how you can make a Craigslist ad quick. Let Go, guys, I mean, Let Go is just really simple. All you got to do is make a Let Go ad, and you just literally, you go on Let Go. We did this last week in the group chat, and you literally just you go on Let Go app, you make it look like you're selling a device. The key is the picture with your Let Go ads, right? So you make a picture like you see these other ads right here, right? You make a picture like this. And you just label the ad on Let Go. This is Craigslist, obviously, but on Let Go, you just title it like iPhone 7, iPhone 8, or whatever the phone is, or message me for details. If you want to see Let Go, like we just did a group chat last week. You can watch the replay on that, or you can go in the course and see exactly how to do it. But we also have some updated Let Go videos as well in the course. I'm going to be updating soon that Aaron filmed for us, and he gave a whole new walkthrough with all new updated info on Let Go and Marketplace. If you guys, does anybody want to check that out? Would you guys like to see brand new course videos? I just haven't posted them yet, but we have all new videos for Marketplace and for Let Go for you guys. Okay. So getting back to what we were saying here. So the important thing is to get these ads out, right? So in all, how much for you guys that are doing over 10,000 a month? How long does it take to place ads every day? If you're doing 3 ads on Craigslist, 5 Facebook groups, Facebook stories, Let Go, and Marketplace, how much time are you spending on ads? Joe did 13,000 last month. He said 5 minutes. Sam's doing about 5,000 a month. She said 20, 30 minutes. Amrit did 10,000 a month last month. He's doing 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, my guys, it takes about 15 minutes for my employees to post their ads in the morning, okay? So we're talking about 15 minutes to kind of guarantee your business. So you've got to prioritize your ad posting time over your leads. For example, I just told the guys, like, do not respond to leads until you post the ads. And I would rather you post the ads than respond to and like miss some leads by the end of the day than not post your ads. Because guys, this is what happens. If you don't post ads every single day, you're not going to feel it that day. When you feel it? You feel it 3 days later. So here's what will happen. You post your ads during the day, and you're like, yay, I'm getting some calls or something like that. And then the next day you get some more calls or you get more messages, and you're like, well, I'm not going to post my ads. I've got plenty of messages to respond to. But the messages are getting weaker. They're not as good a deal. Something's happened. And then you start thinking you're not a good negotiator. But it's really because you haven't been posting your ads. And 3 days later, it's really slow. And it's because you didn't post your ads 3 days ago, not because you didn't post your ads today. So there's kind of a momentum in this business. And the more ads you post, the more momentum it builds. When you kill that momentum, when you have a day by not posting. Have any of you guys felt like that phenomenon where, like, if you didn't post, all of a sudden you just have an off day 3 days later and you're not sure why? It's because you're not posting your ads consistently and you need to build the momentum up, okay? So it's very important every day to make sure you're posting your ads, posting your Let Go, and just get it done with as fast as possible. Someone says, if I can only do this on weekends right now, how do I start placing ads on Wednesday? Okay, that's a good question. So if you can only do it like on certain days, you are at a little bit of a disadvantage with this business, right? It can be a handicap. A couple things that you can do. If you only work weekends, post a bunch of ads Friday night and put a little extra work in responding to people on Friday night, and that will start your momentum for the weekend. So you can do that. That will help you. And then post a bunch of ads Friday night and blast them on Saturday night. And another thing you can do, David, too, is if you work during the day, well, how come you can only do it on weekends? Do you have like time during the week? Like, is your job like really, really extensive so you have no time after work? Because you can also post ads at night and keep a minimum, like respond to a few texts and stuff, even if you can't meet the people. You can do some stuff to keep the momentum. Jamie says, I just created 2 more Craigslist accounts with 2 ads. Boom. That's awesome. Ben says, as soon as I posted 3 ads on one account, 3 ads disappeared on my other account. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I would have to see your account and see what happened. But that could just be a coincidence. That's not really like, that's not something that normally happens. So I'd have to see exactly, Ben, what was going on with that. So David says, I work 12 hours a day. So if you work 12 hours a day, you know what you do, David? Just at night, I would start building momentum Thursday night and try to close a couple deals. And even if you can't respond Thursday night, Friday night, post a bunch of ads so at least you're all ready for the weekend. Okay, so always prioritize ads over leads. All right, so make sure you're posting your Craigslist, make sure you're posting your Letgo and stuff. And obviously, you guys make sure you watch the course videos so you know how to do this stuff the best as possible. Who's using the new Facebook story strategy, by the way, that we went over the last couple of weeks and showed it? Has anybody tried that yet, where you post in Facebook stories? Joe says yes. Sam says yes. Wes says yes. Frankie says, oh my God, hundreds of views. Awesome. Lane says me. Did anybody need a refresher on that, or do you guys understand how to post in Facebook stories yet? German says me, it worked great. Awesome. Sam says I'm good. Amber says I'm getting tons of views but no leads. Well, that will happen sometimes. Sometimes some platforms you're going to post a lot of ads and you're not going to get calls just yet. But the thing is, it's very important to be posting on all platforms, because this is what happens. Let's say one week, you know, Craigslist is hot. It's weird how the market kind of works, or people work, right? Like one week Craigslist will be super active and we'll get a bunch of calls on Craigslist. And then another week Craigslist will be like really dead and we just get nothing from it. But on those weeks, like it's weird, like our Facebook groups will give us a bunch of calls. And then some weeks, like both of those are dead and we get a bunch of calls from our paid Facebook ads, and paid Facebook ads actually crush it. And then some weeks our paid Facebook ads are so bad we actually lose money. But then on the weeks they're good, we make tons and tons of money. But if we're not doing it, the problem is if we don't do all 4 platforms like consistently, then we're going to miss out on the really good weeks on that platform, right? So if you're like, Craigslist didn't work for me this week, I'm going to try something else. Well, what if Craigslist works really well next week and you missed out because you weren't consistent with it? So it's really important to try to be on all platforms and try to be consistent as possible as you can like that. And again, this doesn't take a lot of time. You can get these Craigslist ads done in the Letgo and stuff like that in 15, 20 minutes once you kind of get a routine down. It's just important. So let's get off the subject of ads for a second, and we're going to still talk about leads and calls, but let's talk about this. So ads, guys, are made to generate customers for you as a business, okay? But that's their purpose. I want you guys to look at this. So ads, like posting ad on Craigslist, posting ads on Facebook, are made to generate a call. But these people have no clue who you are. They don't know you. They don't trust you. They don't know if you're going to club them over the head. They have no clue, right? So there's a lot of resistance on these calls. This is what's called cold traffic, okay? Has anybody ever heard of the term cold traffic before? Cold traffic means they don't know anything about us, and we could be total con artists. We could be serial killers. They have no clue who we are, right? We could be scam artists, whatever. That's cold traffic. Warm traffic is people that kind of have an idea who you are. They may have seen you. So let's say someone, you post on Craigslist for 6 months and someone always sees your ads and they just kind of see the style of your ads a lot, or they see your phone number. That's kind of warm traffic. They might have seen you. They're like, all right, this guy's probably not a scam because I see him posting all the time. Obviously this business is somewhat legit. And then there's hot traffic. Hot traffic is the absolute best traffic because it's people that already know you. They feel comfortable with you, they trust you. Now, guys, let me ask you this. If you were to go to a hairstylist, right? How many of you guys here, does anybody go to a barber or a hairstylist regularly? I know I do, right? Let's say your barber charges $20 for a haircut. And let's say there's someone near him that charges $10. But you've been going to this barber for 5 years. How many of you guys would still much rather go to your barber for 20 bucks an hour rather than take a chance at the place for 10 bucks a haircut? Who's going to stick with the same guy? I know I am. because I'm terrified to go into that other place. I don't care about the price to mess up my hair, right? So, you know, by the way, I do need a haircut. Actually, looking at myself, I might go tomorrow talking about this. So when you guys get a call and you can close a deal, it's very important to build up a good relationship with this customer and make them feel good, because 30% of your business is only going to come from leads. Okay, that means no matter, even if you're a master of posting ads, you're only going to get 30% of your deals, but those deals are the least favorable deals. Okay, for example, the first time I walked into a barber shop, I was more skeptical. I asked a lot of questions. So how long you been doing this? You know, like, are you good? You know what you're doing? You know, I like didn't talk to him as much. I didn't feel comfortable. I was a little shy. I was a harder customer. I had resistance. Now me and my barber are like practically best buddies. I mean, we like, he's actually an eBay reseller. We go in there, we talk about selling on eBay all the time. I mean, I'll sit there and talk to him for like an hour, right? We're practically friends. I got his phone number. Hell, I even did a YouTube video with him, okay? I don't want to go to somewhere else, and I don't care if it's half the price. And so I'm telling you this because it's very important. You want customers like this. Who would much rather deal with a customer like that than someone calling off your Craigslist ad? Give me a 1 if that's a yes. Give me a 2 if you'd rather deal with the cold Craigslist ad. Okay? So another thing is, with my least performing employee, we found out that he needed to be a little bit more upbeat and friendly and welcoming. So as we carry out our day, it's very important how we interact with the customers. Every action, every thought, every way we talk to the customers gives us a certain vibe to our customer and clientele. And can you guys tell, you ever walked into business, you just tell when they're excited? Kind of like, you could just be like, wow, this business really wants more business. I got to tell people about this place. And have you ever walked into a place and you're like, has anybody been here since like 1970? Do they ever paint the place, or do they care? And you're like, you know, that type of thing. So you don't want to be that person. All right, so here's like, for example, if you meet up a phone, and let's say you get the phone for someone, you're like, okay, can I see the phone? And you're like, okay, all right, here's your $50. Okay, see ya. Now you might be nice, you might be not unprofessional, you're not being mean. But if you don't show them that you're eager and excited to get more business, then they're not going to get you more business, and they probably won't come back to you. So you want to leave a favorable impression. How do we leave a favorable impression? First off, let me know, guys, is this helping you, or do you want to switch conversations, right? Because we can switch to, I'm just telling you this because this is stuff I think that you guys really need to hear, rather than what you want to hear, right? Because everybody wants to just post ads, get immediate calls, and get results, which is good, right? But this is going to give you guys a good stable business that's going to be around for a long time. I have students that are doing 20,000 a month, and they're not even posting any ads, and they're just constantly working off repeat business. And wouldn't that be a great business to have, where they just call you, they work around your schedule, you don't even have to post ads, and you've built up a stable business of repeat customers. Okay. So someone said, hey, can you guys all hear me okay, or is it coming in and out? Someone says I was going in and out a lot. You can hear me okay? All right. You guys hear me great? Okay, perfect. So how do we do this? Give me a 1. Give me a 1 if you guys have business cards. Give me a 2 if you don't have business cards yet. 1 1 1 2 2 1 1. Just got them. Great job. 2 1 1 2. Okay, so 50% of you guys have a business card. All right. If you hired a plumber to come to your house, right, or a contractor. Now, this is pretty common practice for those type of people to carry cards, right? And they didn't have a card. What would you think? If you had a real estate agent and they didn't have a card, what would you think? Right? What if someone says, oh, I'd love to sell your $1 million home for you? Oh, okay, cool. Do you have a card? I haven't gotten them yet. Haven't gotten them. Got to get around to that. Haven't gotten them. What are you thinking? Are you going to hire that real estate agent? Probably not, right? Now, maybe he's motivated, maybe he wants to do business, right? But his actions show he's not taking his business seriously, right? So guys, you can go on vistaprint.com right now and you can get business cards for 10 bucks, right? And you don't have to come up with the crazy logo. You don't have to come up with anything fancy. You can literally just have your business card say something like this, right? You can have it say, you know, I pay, or you know what, cash for phones and electronics. Important things with the business card, you have what you do, right? Have your phone number, so 555-5555, and then put like, you know, something nice and friendly. Call me anytime. Call or text anytime. That's a great business card right here. Even if you just had that in big letters on a card, it will be great. Just this right here. You can make a business card. Go right now on Vistaprint, get them for 10 bucks. And when you meet up with people and you show them this stuff, they're gonna be impressed. And then guess what? They're gonna carry that card in their pocket. Now some people tell me, well, Dave, they'll find me if they want to sell me their phone. No, they won't. No, they won't. A lot of people have very short-term memory in this day and age. They're not going to go look on your Craigslist ads. They're not going to look up Facebook groups for you. They're just not. They're going to forget about you. So it's really important to get a business card so you have it in the pocket and they go, oh yeah, remember that guy gave me a card. Let me look in my pocket. They're going to pull your name out of their pocket. And guess what else? Not only if they want to sell you a phone, but if their mom has a phone, they're going to be like, oh yeah, guess what? I just sold my phone and I upgraded, got the new XS Max. This guy on Craigslist, yeah, he just gave me 200 bucks for my old iPhone 8. It's awesome. You got to try to give this guy a call. And guess what? He hands him your card. Now, I actually went a step above. I gave people 5 or 6 cards every time I did business. I gave them 5 or 6 because I wanted them to give out a card. I didn't want them to not want to give out their only card. So I gave them some extra. Yeah, here's some extra. Please tell your family, tell your friends about it. I'm buying phones all the time. I've got plenty of cash and looking to purchase as many phones, electronics as I possibly can, right? So when you say that, and when you say, I'm looking to purchase as many phones and electronics as you possibly can, what does that tell that prospect? That tells them we're excited, right? It shows them we want the business. Now, you don't have to be all excited. We just have to be friendly and show people that you're serious about it, that you want the business. So I'm not like, hey, if you got any phones, I'm not like hyper and all excited, but just, hey, thank you very much. I really appreciate the business. Tell them you appreciate. This is very important. Really appreciate the business. And if you have anything else, I would love to buy it for you. I also buy MacBooks, tablets, laptops, other electronics. So if you have anything else like that on you right now, I'd love to buy it. And if not, please tell your family about us. Tell your friends. I'm always buying, and I really, the repeat and referral business helps me greatly. And let them know. Look them right in the eye and ask them like you really mean this, and you will get referrals. Okay? And guess what? Referrals. Do you think those are small profit margins or big profit margins or repeat business? Very high profit margins. I got a kid that's in the course. His name is Eric. He does $15,000 a month. He barely posts any ads, and he makes $7,000 profit a month on $15,000, which is much higher than a lot of the people I see in this business. And he does it because he gets all repeat and referral business. So I don't want to hammer a dead horse, but I just want you guys to understand how important it is to really take a minute when you buy a phone, just have a little conversation with them, get to know them a little bit. Does anybody want to role play that? Kind of like and walk through it. Does anybody have a question on how to do this? Okay, so let me ask you this. Who's going to try this week? Who's going to order business cards for themselves, and who is going to sit there and talk to their customer for a little bit when they're done and make a conversation with them so they can get more? Jamie says, making my card right now. Okay, awesome. It will make you feel good too. Once you get cards, you'll feel better. You'll feel like, okay, I'm really doing this business. I'm buying all in. Okay, sweet. Frankie says, do you joke around with them or you stick with small talk? So here's the fine line. So Frankie, actually, if you want to unmute yourself, this is a really good question.
Can you hear me, Dave?
Yep.
All right.
So Frankie, when you're talking to the customer, right? So you want to keep it small, but you want to keep it about them. Okay. Now here's the thing you don't want to do. This is a mistake I see a lot of people make is they they kind of cross the professional boundaries. So you don't want to talk about anything that, you know, is kind of like private life or matter. And you definitely want to don't say negative things about anyone or gossip or anything like that. Keep it positive, keep it light, and keep it professional, but ask, you know, questions. So I'll go first, Frankie. Like, for example, let's say you're the customer. I would say, hey, Frankie, hey, man, thank you very much for selling me this phone. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. It was a while to get here, but it was really cool that you showed up, man. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, well, thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, I know it was a long drive for you too, so I appreciate you coming down. You know, I appreciate the business as well. So, where are you coming from, by the way?
I'm from insert name of city 15 minutes away.
Oh, okay. Nice. How is it down there?
The traffic was pretty bad getting in there, but once you got out of the main city, it's pretty much just a straight shot from here.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, look, thanks very much. Now, if I'm with you in person, it's going to be a little bit easier, right? Because I can't see you. So if I could see you right now, I might pick out something that you have here. Oh, I like your car, by the way. Oh, what do you got? That's one of those new SUVs, right? You know, something like maybe a car or something. I might pick it out. Like, oh, I like those. And I might ask a couple questions about it. You know, people's favorite topic is themselves, right? So when I kind of ask them about themselves, it makes them feel better. And I'm also using their name when I say Frankie, right? So I always use your name. It's very important to use people's name when you guys are talking to them, okay? Now, all these little things are not little things. All these little things are the things that make a difference in this business. And as you get better, your profit margins increase. You don't increase your business and profit and make money by working harder. You increase your profits by working smarter and harder. Okay, so you have to do a little bit of both. Does that make sense? So, and Nick says boring banter. It's not really boring to them, right? So, for example, like Frankie, you know, let's talk about you. Frankie, I know a little bit about you. You've been on my course. So, like, if I met you and I bought a phone and I would say, oh, what's up with the Bears thing? I know you say you're into Bears. How did you get into that?
Originally, my girlfriend, the first job that she ever had, she actually was a bear mascot for people. And so we just called her Core Bear, so I kind of worked from there. And so now I just kind of have a love and appreciation for bears. And it's on my business card, pictures of it. I actually have a Magic the Gathering bear deck, and it just kind of went out of hand from there.
Oh, Magic the Gathering. Cool. I play Magic.
It's a good game.
I was just at a Magic tournament this weekend down in Washington, D.C.
Mono Blue?
Nope. I was playing Legacy Elves.
Yeah.
And I'm coming off at the risk of sounding really nerdy in front of everybody here. But that's awesome. That's cool. You play Magic too. Well, look, man, thank you very much for selling this phone. I really appreciate it. And it's great to meet a fellow Magic player as well.
Oh yeah, we'll have to play a game or something online or in person or whatever. It's pretty cool. I wasn't sure how business people are with, you know, fun stuff, I guess. It's pretty cool.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, look, if you have anybody else that that wants to sell a phone, I mean, I'm always buying. So I always appreciate it too. If you help me out, if you could tell some people about it, it means a lot to me.
Yeah. Do you have I actually have a Friday Night Magic that I go to right in my local city. We kind of get it together. It's like maybe 15, 20 guys, all kind of nerdy and tech and stuff. They're always upgrading. Do you take like only Samsung, or do you take, you know, Apple and other products too?
Buy everything. I buy Apple, Android. I even buy MacBooks, smartwatches, tablets, iPods. I even buy like digital cameras. I mean, pretty much anything that's like electronic and has resale value, we'll take.
Oh, cool. All right. Do you have business cards? I can just hand them out on Friday this week.
I do. Here's a stack right here for you. I'll give it to you. I'll give you a few quite. Here's is like 10 or 15. Okay, is that enough?
Yeah, that should be enough. That's one for everybody.
Okay.
Something like never shows up.
Cool. Well, I appreciate that. It means a lot to me if you do that, Frankie.
No problem. Appreciate you, having cash on hand and taking my item. Appreciate it.
Well, absolutely. And there's plenty more of it. So if you ever got anything, just give me a call. I'm always happy to do business with you.
Awesome, Dave. Appreciate it, man.
You got it. Have a great day, Frankie. Now look. Now notice how I'm making him feel good, and I'm being genuine. I'm not being a salesperson. I'm not being just someone trying to get business off him. I'm being a good human being, right? I'm asking about it. I'm using his name, and I'm genuinely listening and caring about him. And if you do this, this will come back to you guys. If you genuinely care about people and you listen to them and you talk to them, you will get good stuff in return as well. Now notice, I didn't get off on a tangent about Magic. I talked a little bit about it, and that's called building common ground, right? So I made a connection with them to kind of build some common ground. Oh, you like magic? Oh, cool. Me too. But see, I didn't get sidetracked to go off on a tangent, because that's getting too distracted, and then it's going to start taking away from the business conversation. So you build common ground, but you don't get distracted. Does that make sense? I see some people get a little carried away sometimes when they're doing deals, and then they're off talking about this stuff. You know, make some small talk, and if they keep talking about it, it's okay, acknowledge it, but keep redirecting it back to them, okay? And that's building rapport with the customers, like you guys are saying right there. Okay, so that's, you know, that's exactly how I talk to the customers, and we get, you know, I've had customers come back to my store now 3-4 years later that remember me because I talk to them like that. Okay. Now you might say, well, this is not me. I don't like talking to people, and that's okay. But you know, who here wants to be a true entrepreneur? Like maybe, you know, who's here is just doing it for a quick buck? If you're doing this just for a quick buck, just type 1 in the chat. If you're doing this because you really want to learn some business skills and be a true entrepreneur, type 2 in the chat. See, 2, 2, 2, 2. So I want to leave you guys with stuff that you can be a true entrepreneur with, okay? And to be a true entrepreneur, you do need skills, right? And the more skills you make, the more money you make. And people skills, genuine people skills, are gonna carry with you into all kinds of other businesses, right? So if you say to yourself, well, Dave, I'm not good with people, then you might not be ready to be an entrepreneur at this point, right? Or you might want to say, okay, I'm not good with people, but I'm going to learn. And you practice some of these things. You practice saying their name. You watch the group chats. And if you guys go in the course in section 5, there's so much stuff on people skills, and you'll see me talking and role playing. Watch those videos a couple times, right? And when you go through it, listen to what I'm doing, go practice it, and then come back and try again. After you listen to the course videos one time, you have like a certain level of awareness, right? So you watch a course video, you go try it out, you watch the course video again, and you see if you catch anything different that you didn't see the first time. Does that make sense? Has anybody ever done that before, where you watched one video and then you went back, you watched it again, you're like, wow, this is really good. So he said, yes, did it today. Awesome. Okay. Says that's very true. Absolutely. It just works amazing. And I do it myself. I had a course I took recently where I literally watched the videos 10 times on some of them. Some I got it right away, and some I feel like, well, this is a sticking point for me. So I watched the video, and then I went and practiced it, and then I watched the video again. I still feel like I didn't got it. I watched the video again, and then I started getting it. Okay, and the worse you are, if you're struggling like with negotiation or people, the more times you're just probably gonna have to watch the videos and get practice. It's just like a skill, like anything else. And as you do it, you get better and better and better. But the good thing about this, right? You might say, well, Dave, this is a lot of work. Here's the thing: it feels hard at first, but you can choose either to learn the hard skills, like negotiation, people skills, get out of your comfort zone a little bit, and make lots of easy money, because the more, like, it felt pretty effortless, right? As I was talking to Frankie, who felt like I was trying hard when I was talking to Frankie? Did I feel stressed? Did I feel like this was like hard work? Or it felt pretty natural, right? It feels, when you learn these skills, it feels very natural, and it feels like you're almost putting no effort in to make money. I mean, my company did $1 million last year. I never really feel like I'm working that hard, though. You know, I feel like I'm just sitting here talking to you guys right now. It's not really that hard of work, right? But if you don't know the skills and you're always grinding because you're trying to avoid doing the inevitable, the uncomfortable stuff, then you might have it a little harder. You might have to post a lot more ads. You might have to respond to a lot more leads. Okay, so I don't want to get too philosophical, but I figured I'd drop this in here. Do you guys, is there anything in particular that you guys want to talk about? Do you want me to pick one person here and we can discuss some questions? You guys at Time Flip says they have a question. Okay, what is your question, Time Flip? And David has a question about listings. Okay, what are your questions?
Dave, can you hear me?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's Asim. How you doing?
Oh, hey, Asim. I didn't know that was you.
Yeah, I'm on my cell phone. My internet's cut, and I just got back from from laying my aunt to rest. So just kind of rolling with it.
Awesome. So what's going on?
Nothing much. I wasn't able to come on Tuesday because my aunt passed away, but right around that time, Let Go banned all my accounts and activity and whatnot, and so I, took time and spent with family, kind of took a break from it. But now since I'm back, I want to try to, get back working again. So I just would want a little insight on what do you think I should do? Should I just use another device and try like local Wi-Fi at maybe a McDonald's or?
Yeah, Letgo is really easy to get new accounts. Just pick a new device and a new Wi-Fi and start a new email, and you can get a new account right away.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I did want to ask too, do you, if you want to do multiple accounts, would you recommend doing like different of device, like one account per device or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I would definitely do, especially if you lost a couple accounts. How many accounts did you have?
Okay. So I started out with 3 and
Yep.
then I was warming up another 7.
Wow. And
So
how many devices were you using?
see, I was only using my MacBook and my Android phone.
Okay. So just be careful of that, because that's definitely the reason you lost all those accounts at once, right?
Okay.
So like
Okay.
it's one thing to, to be trying, and then there's kind of like getting a little overzealous, right? And
Okay.
if you
Okay.
do that, I call that killing the golden goose, right? You know the story about
Okay.
the golden goose, right?
Yeah, you talked about that before.
Yeah, the farmer had the goose laying an egg every day, and then one day he just was like, oh, well, what if I cut open the goose and I'll get all these golden eggs? He killed the goose, and he realized there was no golden eggs inside, and it died, and he lost his golden goose, right? So when you're like, oh, wow, Letgo's getting me lots of leads, let me create 15 accounts now. If you kill the golden goose, now you have to start over from scratch. Just be careful with that. Try not to abuse it. Like, you could probably get away with 2 accounts per device. And you could get away with probably 5 accounts per device, but the problem is if they shut down one device, you lose all the accounts.
Got you.
So you don't
Well,
want to put yourself at risk for that stuff. You know what I mean?
got you. I have a couple old phones that I hadn't been able to sell, and I was thinking just of working over that and and just taking it slow. Maybe like, do you think it should be like maybe 1 account per week, or how often do you make new accounts?
Well, I mean, we've had the same accounts now. Once we made them, we don't really lose them.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're very careful. Again, we don't kill the golden goose, right?
Okay.
So we're like that on all our platforms. Craigslist, we stick to 3 to 5 ads per day, tops. Facebook groups, we don't push our limit, 5 to 10 per day. Letgo, we post 3 ads per account per day, and we only have like 1 or 2 accounts per device. Actually, only 1 account per device. So it's important to kind of just know the limits and stay within there when you're doing this.
Gotcha. Thanks for the help, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem. Yeah, and I know what it's like too. Sometimes you just get excited and you're like, oh, I'm going to post all these accounts, but then you feel it when you get shut down, and it's like you have to rebuild all over again when that happens. So we haven't got shut down on anything. Like we haven't got banned on OfferUp, we haven't got banned on Letgo, we haven't got banned on Facebook Marketplace. None of those, just because we're trying to stay within the guidelines, and it works well.
Gotcha.
Yeah. David has a question. Did that help you, by the way? Would you have any other questions?
Yeah, it helped me great, because the thing is, I didn't lose like my want to do it, because I bought a MacBook from a lady just before all of this craziness happened with my aunt. So because it was unexpected that she passed. So right now I'm actually charging that up so that I can see whether or not it gets power, and I can get more for it on eBay. So I'm trying to stay focused, man.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, good luck, and let us know how you do with that.
I will. Thank you.
You got it. Let's see. David said he had a question. David, if you want to come on, you can talk.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. I'm not having a problem with anything except listings, and it seems like every time I go on eBay, and I'll give you an example. I got an XS Max 64 gigabyte. It was in mint shape. It was Sprint, and it didn't have a bad ESN, but I listed it as a bad ESN, and it just didn't seem to go anywhere. I bought it for $400. I appraised it for like I think the appraisal went for
What was
like
the phone again? Let's do an appraisal all together.
okay. It's an
Let's have everybody
XS
participate in this. iPhone XS. Yep.
XS Max 64 gigabyte
64
Sprint,
gigabyte. Yep.
and it didn't have a bad ESN, but I appraise them as bad ESN.
Well, with Sprint, you always just do bad ESN always. Yep. And we always know it's a bad ESN.
I appraised it around 675 to 700, and I put it down for 675, but I wasn't getting anything but views. I had it posted for like 3 days.
Okay, so we have one here for $619.99 plus
Right.
$995. We have this one here, but be careful. This one's got like some kind of warranty and free accessories.
Yeah.
I'm weary about this because see how that one could have thrown you off on the price? You're probably
Right.
not going to get this as a regular seller, right? So like
Yep.
they might have thrown in some special warranty, which kind of inflates the price. I don't
Right.
want to use that. So let's see, we got $619.99. So this is like $629.
Okay.
And then we have Excess Max. That one's cracked. We can't use that. We have this one here, $699.
That says
But this
new.
is brand new, so we don't want to use that one. See how it says new? See, that's sneaky though. It doesn't look new, but see in the title it has the asterisk there. It must still have the plastic on it, but you just can't see
Right.
the picture. So you got to be careful not to use that. Here's another one, Excess Max. Now look at this, $581,999
Okay.
shipping, right? So that's
Maybe
only
that's why.
$590. We got $590. We got $620. Those are our appraisals. Those are our comps so far. So
Yep.
it's not looking good, right? And then we have one here. Okay, here's one we can use for $625. That's with the shipping about $630.
Right.
So to me, it looks like it's only appraised at about $620.
Okay. I just got rid of it today for a direct buyer at what was it? Equinox, and I got $575 for it as a direct buyer.
Okay, well that's about what you would net on eBay. So
Okay.
I guess that's worth it then, right?
Yeah.
But just be careful if you're appraising, because like if you bought it as it was going to sell for $675, then you might have overpaid. Do you know what did you pay for the phone?
400.
Okay, so you did well. Good.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the only reason it wasn't selling. That's great that you're selling to a direct buyer too. I mean, that's if you like that and that's easier for you, definitely continue to do that. Sounds like you would have netted about what you would have gotten with eBay. I continue to like eBay because I want to sell all these other stuff. Like all the other items that I can sell allows me to do a lot bigger numbers, and that's why I still sell on eBay.
Okay.
I think it's worth it. If you're going to sell direct buyers, that's great, but keep an eBay account going so you'll have one that doesn't have a lot of limits. And you can sell like your computers, your smartwatches, because there's just so much money and profit in those.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to keep it definitely.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm only to about, I only made around 1,300 so far. So I'm still new after about a week and a half, but
good job. A week and a half, you already made $1,300. That's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not having no problems getting the phones. It's just getting rid of them.
Excellent.
You know?
Fantastic. And you're only working weekends?
Yeah, I've only went out and gotten phones twice so far. So,
good for you.
Yeah, I'm getting the phones, no problem. It's just listing them on eBay. It doesn't seem like they move. So I've been selling a lot on Facebook just locally, but I just found out I'm not supposed to do that as a business. So
yeah,
I'm going to stop that.
It's better. It's better either sell them to direct buyers or on eBay, or they usually want, like if you're going to do it in volume, they usually want like a business license if you're selling locally or something like that.
Yeah, that's why I'm stopping. I just read on the group or something that I'm not supposed to do that locally as a business. So.
Oh, no worries, but that's great that you keep on buying. You're making good money. That's awesome. So good job.
Thank you. Well,
you're welcome.
So then I'm realizing that I'm listing them wrong. So appraising them wrong, I should say. So I gotta learn to appraise them properly. But at least I didn't lose anything on that.
Well, it just takes practice. The more you buy, the better you guys are going to get at appraisals. And it's it's good. It's always good to just watch the course videos on appraisals too if you need some practice, and just keep
rewatch it over again. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Anybody else have some questions? Someone asked, you posted the phone on Equinox. Equinox is a direct buyer. So what he was talking about, Josh, is there's buyers, there's wholesalers that they'll just buy the phones outright from you. You don't have to list it on eBay, right? So there's some people use a company called Atlas that buys. Some people use a company called Equinox. There's different wholesale buyers. You'll find out as you do this. They'll kind of come to you, and you'll see people posting in the group about them as well. Nick says, I missed the beginning. How much startup cash should we aim for? I think it was 500. I mean, you don't have to have 500. You can start off. I did a video today in my free group on how to start with $5, and I showed how to build $5 into 1,000 in just a couple of weeks. You need to just put more work in, and you have to, and you can only buy the cheaper phones to flip if you have less than 500. Brandon says, hey, Dave, what do you do in the situation when you run out of money? Do you keep posting ads? Definitely keep posting ads. Always post ads, because if you can get deals, you can find a way to get the money. There's people here that will let you borrow the money for the phones, right? Or like if you have any friends, any relatives at all that trust you, or you can build some trust at least and show them you know what you're doing. If they know you're flipping phones and you say to them, hey, look, I got a deal right now I can make $100 profit on, but I need to buy the phone for 100, and my cash is tied up in PayPal. If you give me $100, I'll give you 110 back in 1 week. Would you be okay with that? And you can borrow the money, but that way you make the profit that you wouldn't have made if you didn't do that. So it's always better to post the ads and keep the deal flow coming in so you can grab those opportunities. You also might be able to, get a phone for $20. Like we just listed a phone today for $20 and we sold it for 100. It was an iPhone SE. It was like one of those 5S SE phones. And we paid $20 for it and we listed it for $99, right? So you usually can scrap up $20 real fast if you need to. So still always respond, because you can cherry pick those deals, especially if you're short on cash. And that's how you build your cash pool very quickly, is by doing that. Ben says his banks gives him a credit whenever I need it. Great. You can use credit too. A lot of people sometimes don't have credit when they join the course. So I always try to give alternative methods. But if you have credit, then that's even better. Just make sure if you have credit, you're only doing it to buy phones you know for sure you're going to make a profit on, right? Make sure you've appraised it and there's definitely a deal there. So when you can flip it, you pay off the bill on your credit card. David asked if you should keep a separate checking account for the cash pool. I really think having multiple checking accounts, if you guys can do it, does help a lot, because it disciplines you. If you have a lot of cash building up in one account, you feel like you've got lots of money, right? But if you have 2 or 3 accounts, you forget about sometimes the money in the other accounts. I have 6 accounts, and I really think it's important. And even when I didn't have a lot of money, I didn't even have a bank account, I started this business off, and I just had different envelopes with cash. One envelope was my personal bills. The other envelope was for buying phones. And I just built up the envelopes until I started a bank account, and then I put the cash in the bank. And it helped train me so I wouldn't think I had more money than I did. That helps keep me. It was a little trick to keep me motivated. Sam says, I'm getting a 6S cracked and a water damage for $5 tomorrow. There you go. And you can flip that for $40, $50, easy. Isaiah says, for the apps, do you have to go to a public place and connect to his Wi-Fi and then post? Once you create the accounts, usually not. We haven't had to do that. Especially, that's why it's important to just not mess it up in the first time if you can. But you usually can post the apps. Once you create the account, you can just post them anywhere. Typically, you can log in. I haven't seen any reason not to. Because my employees will log into each other's accounts from different locations. So they don't really have any trouble with that. Chris says, do we need to go to different Wi-Fi places with different devices to get multiple accounts? No, you don't. You can create, you just need different devices, Chris. So if you're going to go to Let Go, or this is for Let Go at Facebook Marketplace and like the apps, you can create, usually for Let Go, you can be on the same Wi-Fi. OfferUp is a different animal. Sometimes you do need to go to a different Wi-Fi for that. All right. Does anybody want to go over a text critique or anything like that? Do you guys want to keep doing question and answer for another 10, 15 minutes? Would you like me to look at a text? If you guys can, to help me out, because I'm always looking to make the group chats better for you guys. What would you think was the most helpful part of the group chat today? What did you guys like the most? And what would you like to see more? Isaiah says the apps. What did you find helpful? And what would you like to have seen more of if it wasn't helpful? Isaiah says the apps. Joe Vanilla says conversation. The role playing, okay. Sam says advice on posting ads first. Okay, good. I'm glad you picked that up. Wes says motivating us to post more ads. Good. The customer rapport. Sam likes the one-on-one coaching when I get someone on here to ask questions. Good. Frankie says rapport, building block ideas, and ad focus was wise. Financial advice, Facebook groups and stories. The financial advice was good. Okay. The one-on-one posting ads first and business cards. Yes. Let's see who's going to get the business cards for next week. They're always very helpful. Let's see. All your advice is top notch. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I always like to see if I can give as much as possible. Closing more deals. All right. So let's do some text critique then and see if you guys want. See if I can help you. Does anybody want me to critique their messages? Let me get someone I haven't critiqued just yet. Someone like brand new. What you can do is you can post your text critiques. If you want, take a screenshot of your negotiations and post it right under the group chat post right here. Just put it in the comments. Post your screenshot of your deal. And if anybody wants to show off their closing skills, feel free to post a screenshot there of your. Oh, I should be showing this. Sorry, you're not looking at the screen. No wonder why nobody's seeing this. There we go. So post a screenshot of your closed sales if you'd like over here. If you want me to show like everybody what you did well, and if you need help, post a screenshot there, and I'll critique it and go through what you can maybe do a little better. Someone says more info on business cards, how to make up to get attention. The business cards. So again, the business cards, like I said, this is a good business card. One of the best business cards. There was a kid named Josh in my group, and he made a business card. It was just literally this words, and then he had the numbers, and it was a big green card. It was just a green card with this information on it, and he did $20,000 a month. Did amazing. Some of the best business cards I ever seen. He didn't have a business name. He didn't even put his name on the card. But he had big letters that said cash for phones and electronics, call anytime, and they worked great. Those are really good. If you really want to put your name on there, you can put like ask for Dave or something like that is good. People don't really care about your name. They don't care about your logo. They don't care about the name. They only really care about what you're going to do for them. So that's why you want to put the benefit, the cash for phones and electronics. And if you really wanted to, you could buy like I buy cracked, used, bad ESN, new. That's a good thing to put on the card sometimes too, like the type of conditions. That way they don't think that you won't buy it if it's cracked or something like that. So those are good things to throw on your card. Good question. Did anybody post any of their screenshots there? No? If not, I can just answer the questions and stuff for you guys. Let's see. Oh, David posted equinexelectronics.com to sell for the direct buyers. Let's see. Jamie says, kept my card just like a Craigslist ad, more or less. Yeah, there you go. German says, where do we post the screenshot? So you post right here in the Facebook group. If you go to the eBay phone selling course members only group, the private group, and just in the comments right here where I posted for the group chat, just put a screenshot. Take a screenshot of your phone of the text like there. There we go. Someone's posting it, and post it right there in the comments, and I'll take a look at it for you. Let's see. While we're waiting for someone to post, any other questions you guys have? Oh, there we go. Put it up there. All right, perfect. So he says, someone may answer the phone on work. Were you looking to sell a phone? Yes. Okay, so let me ask you this really quick, because this is a great point. I saw this message right here, and I know you can't answer the phone at work, so you probably can't do anything about this, but this is really important. The faster you guys reply to people, the better it increases your chances of getting a deal, right? So if you can reply faster, try to reply faster, because if not, if you wait past an hour, you really lose a lot of the opportunity to close a deal. But if I understand you guys have a job, you can't always respond quickly. But if you can, try to just focus on that. Try to respond faster if possible. You get much more chance of closing deals. Says yes, and you said, okay, great. Can you tell me what you have? That was a good response. Very good. He says, I have an XS Max. I have an iPhone X Max, which is an XS Max, and an XR. Both are under T-Mobile. And you said, are there any problems with them? Used for only 1 month? No, they're basically no. You said, cool. And so these phones are fully paid off or financed. Okay. So we don't want to ask that question. I don't know if it's Herman or German. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but I think it might be Herman. So Herman, we never want to ask, are they fully paid off or financed? We just assume it. So if it's T-Mobile, we just assume it's financed. And that's why we buy them as bad ESN. Bad ESN means the phone is financed. They're never going to tell you if they're really paid off or not. So it really doesn't do any good to ask that, because they'll always say, oh yeah, they're paid off, and they're not, right? So we never believe the sellers. So we would always buy that regardless as a bad ESN, just so you guys know on that. And he says they're finance ? See, he doesn't even know. He's not sure. So that also kind of confuses buyers sometimes. I mean, sellers. So what I would respond, instead of saying, and you did good. You were really friendly. I like that. Great job on that. But I would just respond with, first of all, if they try to sell you 2 phones, always just focus on 1 phone at a time, because the human brain really can't focus on 2 things at once. So it's always better to just get 1 deal, because they might be happy with the price of 1 phone, and then they might not like the other price, and you could end up losing the deal over the, even though they're happy with one of them, because you offered a deal they didn't like on the other one, you lost the deal. So I always like to go 1 phone at a time, just in case. That way I can just say, well, you know what? Well, let's just go back to that phone and we'll just buy that one instead. So for example, I would have responded to this by saying, okay, cool. I would just give him an offer on the XS Max. Or I would say any cracks, or I would say, let's start off with the iPhone XS Max. Is there any cracks with it? And he would say no. Okay, cool. I could do $440 for you. Now let's just make sure this was a good appraisal on that, which I think it was, because we just listed an iPhone XS Max for T-Mobile for $725 on my eBay store. And we did an appraisal. So let's do some appraisal drills here. iPhone XS Max, T-Mobile, 64 gig. $724. Here's one that just sold for $829. But this one doesn't say bad ESN, so I'm worried about that. So we always want to sell them as bad ESN. We never want to sell them as clean because this person might not even realize he should be selling them as bad ESN. So I'm not going to go by that one. So 724. That doesn't say bad ESN either. Let me see. This one says pre-owned. I looked up the IMEI. It reads clean, but I'm not sure. So that would be by bad ESN. So never say that in a listing, by the way. Always just say bad ESN. So that would be 700, 700 and 700. So I'd say it's probably going to sell for about 700 to 720, that phone, right? So 440 is a good offer, which is good. We always get to check the appraisal, make sure the appraisal's right. And now see, when you asked them those two, you asked, I could do 440 on the XS Max and 300 on the XR. So now this is kind of confusing him. Now he's like, well, I like the XS Max deal, but I don't like the XR, or vice versa. But he's not going to ever say that to you. Most customers aren't going to be honest. They don't really actually tell you why they didn't do business with you. So it's always better to close them on one. So just focus on one and then work your way from there. And let me see if there's anything else to work with on that. And then the customer said, can you do 450 and 350? See, he was pretty happy with the XS Max price. You see that just by his answer there. It was only $10 more he was asking on the XS Max, which is still a good deal. I would still do 450 on that. But the XR is pretty far off. That's $50 difference. So we don't want to let this XR throw the deal. And you said, And he said, it comes with the boxes. You said, I can do 450 and 320. How does that sound? Cash, you said, yes. All right, let's meet today. Okay, good. You closed it. Excellent. So, but this one came at the risk of possibly losing the deal over that XR. So in the future, it might be easier to just close one at a time if you can. But here, you got away with it. That's awesome. But that's the only critique that I would say is maybe just try to focus on that one. And then he said, let's meet today. Okay, great. Can you meet at the Starbucks on Proctor Valley Road? Let me see what that is. Give me a second. And did you end up closing this, Herman? Did you meet up with them to get the phone?
I did. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I ended up closing the phone, and I sold the phones like 8 hours after I bought them.
All right, great job, fantastic. So you did well.
Yeah.
Did you need me to critique that, or were you more showing the close on that?
I was just looking to get some criticism to see what I can do better.
Okay, cool. Was any of the stuff I had said helpful for you?
Yeah, focusing on one phone. I'm definitely gonna start doing that more when I get more than one phone coming to me.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that will definitely help. And then just not mentioning the finance thing. Just kind of assume it. Just assume bad ESN and appraise like that, and then you'll be good. Here's a couple words I always avoid when I'm talking to people when negotiating: financed or iCloud locked. It's better to not even say those things when you guys are negotiating because it kind of confuses people and a lot of people don't know. So instead of saying iCloud locked, I just say, hey, does the phone have any passwords on it? But I usually won't even ask that before I meet with the person. Once I meet with the person, I'll make sure there's no passwords, but I always kind of assume the best. I always assume there's no passwords unless they tell me otherwise. That will help you guys close more deals. Let's see, David posted his. Let's go through this, and then I think we'll be running out of time after this. He says, seen you buy smartphones, you happen to buy cracked ones. Awesome. And David responded, I do buy cracked screen iPhones or Android. What do you have? That's a good response. Fantastic. And then he said, I have an iPhone 8 Plus. The front and back are both basically shattered. And he had the little sad face. And David says, okay, what carrier do you have on it? How many gigabytes and does the screen turn on? So that was pretty good, David. I would just try to keep the questions in singly. So instead of asking 3 questions in one, because again, that tends to confuse people, ask the questions like in a series of succession. So, okay, cool. What carrier is it? He says Verizon. Okay, great. And I don't ask the gigabytes. When we appraise a phone, I always assume the lowest gigabytes, and that helps take a lot of time out of that. That way I can appraise really quickly. So if I know the lowest gigabytes for an iPhone is like 64 gigs, I'll just appraise it that one. And it gives me a negotiation tool also. If they want more money, I could say, well, let me check on the gigabytes. How many gigabytes is it? Maybe I can give you a little bit more for that. And I kind of keep it as an ace in my pocket to throw out as well. So that's another negotiating tool for you guys that you can use. And you said, does the screen turn on? So that was good. He says, it's unlocked, bought from Apple. It's 64 gigs, and yes, the screen and everything worked fine. Okay, so he ended up responding to everything, so that's good. And he said, okay, cool, let me check and see what I can do for it. I want to give you the best price I can. Want to put some money in your pocket. Great response. That was excellent. He says, okay, sounds good. And he says, okay, it looks like I could give you 100 cash with the front and back being cracked like that. Takes a lot of value away, but I could definitely give you 100. Very good response. I like how you gave a reason with that, because that when you give a reason with something, it makes people feel more comfortable, right? And they're more likely to take it. And it was not a negative. It wasn't really. It was said very positively. So I really like what you said. And then you wrapped it up with, does that sound fair? Excellent language. It looks like you watched all the negotiation courses, the videos in the course really well. Been listening to the group chats and you follow that, so that's great. And you said, will that work for you? And the guy said, where are you located? And you said, I'm located in Brooklyn. And then did you end up getting that deal?
Yes, I actually did get the deal. I bought it and I actually sold it on eBay for about 200. So I made 100 profit on it.
Nice.
As soon as the next, I could have copied and posted the next one, but I closed it right after that. So the negotiation on that one, I started to learn a little better how to talk to people, be positive. And I ended up having them call me back for 2 more phones. So.
Wow. Yeah. You are crushing it for starting this course. I got to say, David, you're doing
trying.
For your first week, you are doing fantastic. So great job on that.
Trying.
Let's see. And thank you for posting that for everybody. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Frankie says she messaged after, agreed to 140 after finding out stylist was chipped. So he says, no worries. What time would work better for you? I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Can I let you know when I'm headed that way? Of course, just give me a heads up when you leave. Okay, cool. So were you just showing you closed the phone? Was there any other negotiation there? Let's see. I think we'll wrap it up for today. Frankie, what were you going to say something?
I was scrolling through it, and my screen is just so wide that like it would take a long time just to post it. But it was a Note 8. Her family passed away. She was just looking to get rid of it. Started at 150 or 130. She asked if she could just match the 150 she got for the other one. I talked her down to 140 after finding out the stylus was broken. And then I did the thing where like you put the ball in their court. You're like, all right, I gave you 2 different times to meet up, but the appointment doesn't work. What would work best for you? And just give it back to her. And she said she would reach out. Ended up being able to meet me today, and we ended up closing the deal today.
Awesome. Great job on that. Sounds like it looks like you're doing things right as far as the negotiations.
What would you do? I don't know if you just kind of ignore them completely, like if you've tried reaching out to them. But if someone's like, hey, is this still available? And you reach out, yes, it's still available. What make and model were you looking to sell today or get cash for, however you start? They just never respond. Do you put too much stock on those, or do you just focus more on like putting more ads out at that point if it's been like a day or 2?
That's a really good question. So you're saying like if you ask them what model phone they have and they don't respond to you?
Yeah, like after they say, so say I have a Note 8, for example, the one I just posted for
Yep.
I buy smartphones. And sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No worries.
And is this still available? And you say, yes, I'm still buying smartphones. What are we looking to get cash for? And it's been like a day, a 2-day, whether they've seen it or not. Is there anything else?
Usually, if they don't respond back to us, what we'll do is we'll do our thing, post our ads, we respond to as many leads as we can, and then we'll do a follow-up, like all the leads that didn't get back to us, we'll just like copy and paste a, hey, still interested, something like that. And just try to re-engage them, because sometimes they just forget or they get sidetracked. So it's not that they don't want to study their phone, they just get sidetracked. So sometimes following up can pick you up an extra 1 or 2 phones a day too.
All right. So would you price priority on that over like putting out new ads, or is this kind of like you reached out to the warm market or the people responding to you first after you posted your ads in the morning, and then that's kind of like plan C, like kind of like the last of the last?
Plan C, yeah. Like if it's a slow day, it's a good time to catch up on those. It's one of those days you're not getting as many calls, not as many leads, even though you posted a bunch of ads. Great day to just go back and follow up with all the leads.
All right. That answered my question. Appreciate it, David.
Absolutely. And I think that will wrap it up. Let me just see if there's any last things here before we go. Sam says she actually did that today, and then you got a few who said yes and a few who said no. Great job. Yep, you're welcome, David. Absolutely no problem. So thank you guys for coming today. Thank you for all the participation. I really like the variety. There was a lot of you guys participating today, getting involved, asking questions, and we talked about a variety of different things. So great job on that, and keep up the good work. You guys are just doing awesome. I mean, you're just taking so much action. I'm just really impressed. Al says, thanks, David. Have a great night. Lane says, thanks. Time Flip says, thanks. Absolutely no problem, guys. Keep up the good work, and we'll see you again. Don't feel afraid to post your results in the group too. If you guys are crushing it, you're buying phones, motivate everybody. Post the phones up there and kind of show what you bought. It gets people excited when they see how much profit you guys are making and stuff like that. So don't feel afraid to do that. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you again.